Why am I upgrading from this to that? This Panasonic camera looks way more professional, and I especially like that it has audio plugins for the shotgun, and even the microphone here has 5 channels. So the audio from this camera is way better than I'm expecting the audio from the GoPro. But I'm moving forward to external audio recorder anyway. And of course it has manual functions and just looks more professional. So, which kind of matters sometimes when you are out shooting something outside. And basically people kind of respect your space more when you're shooting with a big professional camera. It is 12 years old though, and the highest it shoots is 1080p, which is still good quality. It's full HD, especially if I would be shooting mostly for YouTube or even indie films. I think it's perfectly okay not to have 4K. For me, the main problem with this camera is it's big and it's clunky, and when I want to use this camera, that's all I can focus on. And with me having a lot of kids, it has to be very scheduled. Okay, right now I'm shooting and that's all I'm doing. I can't really put it down, put it in my pocket anywhere. So of course, what I'm describing, I could use my phone, and probably I would be trying to use my phone for quick shooting, especially YouTube videos or anything that doesn't require setup. But my phone fell down once too many times, and the camera broke. Not actually the camera, but something in the software. So one of the main benefits for me is this is portable. I can put it in my pocket, or in my purse, and have it with me and quickly put it away, and just still kind of be a functional mom, not only a filmmaker, which is very important part of my life. And this will let me film more, because ever since my phone camera broke, I just stopped filming so much because it was just too complicated, and with the camera I cannot edit it quick. I need to go to the computer, and this connects to the iPad, so I can edit on the iPad, which is way faster for me. Also, it's very much close to being indestructible, which is a real bonus when I want to let my kids start learning how to shoot, how to frame things, how to light things, and I will not be afraid to give them this. Of course, I would tell them not to throw it or whatever, and to treat it still carefully, just because I think things should be treated carefully. But nothing will happen if it drops or if it falls in the water. And also this being small, I think it gives me more opportunities to put in weird places to have different angles and things like that. But I'm really excited about the flexibility of it. Of course, I wouldn't be giving this camera to my kids unless I would be willing to part with it already, and I'm not. I will still be using it, especially when I will finally have a steady setup for the YouTube videos. Panasonic will be on the tripod and will be the main camera for that. I'm still not sure which one will be better in not optimal lighting situations. I will be trying to light the scenes the best I can anyway, because no matter the camera, the more light it gets, the better the picture. This one was very good for low light situations 12 years ago, and recently when I was filming with not optimal lights, I was not happy with the footage. So I will be testing how this one works, but possibly they are about the same. One big drawback of this is that the standard setting is kind of the lens is like fisheye effect, which could be a very stylized way of filming, but I'm not exactly happy with it. It has a way of turning it off, but it doesn't shoot 4K anymore. It's 2.7, I think, K. So if I would be aiming for 1080p anyway, I guess I would be downgrading the lens anyway. And I kind of like working with 1080p more because the files are way smaller, and just editing is faster because of that. I don't have like extremely powerful computer, like it can process the 4K files, but I'm not sure how much it will take like for a longer projects. So unlike it just takes a ton of 4K files take a ton of space. So I'm not actually a big fan of 4K, especially since because of my eyesight, I don't really see the difference. But with all the people thinking that that's the most important thing in the world, possibly I will be filming the 4K. At least I will try a few shorter projects in 4K and I will see how much that affects, if I will not be bothered by the fisheye effects too much. Outside it's not as big a problem, but inside with the window frames, door frames, it really looks silly and very visible. So that's not something I was expecting to see, because most of the GoPro videos are shot outside and you don't really notice that much the bending, especially like they are filmed like fast-paced. That's not something I was expecting to have. Still, this is not a camera most filmmakers would choose, especially you don't have much options. Like you don't have manual focus, you don't have you can't really choose depth of field. You're just relying on that this camera will have good autofocus, auto white balance, everything, which most filmmakers would not be okay with, but most filmmakers are fans of camera, of working with the camera and with the picture and making the visuals beautiful. And it's not me. I'm not as much a DP or cinematographer. I'm more writer, producer, director, and that's quite enough of hats on my head anyway. So I do want camera that I don't need to bother too much with the options and still produces nice quality video. I prefer to focus on framing and on lighting and on acting of the actors for the movies that I will be the camera operator. But as soon as possible, as soon as I will have a budget, I want to hire a DP. So for me, investing in another high quality camera like this cost around 3,000 those 12 years ago. So probably right now something like that would cost way more. But I didn't even research those cameras because I'm not interested anymore in learning how to best use cameras and all this cinematography aspect of filmmaking. I want to focus on learning how to tell good stories. So that's kind of the biggest differentiator for me, what camera I want to buy, because it's only temporary. I want a camera that is flexible, that it's not another thing that I have to very much focus on. It's just something I can rely on to just work, to just put on a frame correctly or to handheld footage. This camera is tiny and I was afraid it would be light, but it has a really nice weight to it, so you can still do a fairly steady shots just handheld if you know how to do it, but I got a lot of practice like filming my kids with the phone, so I think this will be even easier to work with. But I still have to check because it didn't come with the SD card. I didn't think it would be a problem because I do have SD cards, but I don't have the micro SD cards and I didn't really read through. So I'm still waiting for the card. Well, before the video will be out, I will already have it, so probably you'll see it anyway. So I really like that this camera can upload the video straight to the tablet or a phone. If you have a newer phone, it doesn't work on an older phone like I have. And it can also be connected through the cable to the computer or SD card. It's also flexible for me for edit, because I like editing short videos on iPad, but I wouldn't want to be restricted by the easy program I have on the iPad to edit like short films or longer projects. So I'm glad I have those two options. So I guess the moral of this video is to choose a camera that fits your needs best, not necessarily the best camera of the year or whatever. I didn't even go with the newer GoPro. It's GoPro 10, not 12. And I didn't wait for the new release in the fall. I'm guessing they will be releasing another one because there's no new features that I really need. And it costs half the price of the GoPro 12. So that's all I need. And I prefer to spend the rest of the money, whatever it would be, on actually making movies, on costumes or on props or on set design or on actors, on crew. And for now, at my stage of filmmaking career or path or whatever, the most important thing is for me to get films done, and this camera should do the work better than a bigger, more complicated one, because it just no setup. I just can take it, film something, upload it, edit, publish. It will streamline my process, and the more I film, the better I will get, the more ideas I can work on. And that's the most important thing right now for me. Just to make more things, make more videos, make more movies, make more documentaries. I'm working on starting another channel that's more of a documentary style than fantasy movies or just talking head videos like this one. So funny thing is that when I was starting, I was talking with some older videographer, and he asked me what camera I'm using. So like I told him that I'm using this Panasonic HGAC 90 and he said, oh, that's great, like, oh, you're a serious filmmaker, because my son or nephew is just making silly movies with a GoPro and now I'm back to a GoPro, so that's kind of funny for me, but that's what works. I hope this video will give you the courage to analyze what's right for you and go with that, instead of going with what's the best and most professional looking camera right now, or the newest one, or whatever, because in the end, any camera is only as good as much as you use it.
We need the pepper. Can you put me more pepper? Just holding like this and, you know?
So far from the testing, I discovered that the most frustrating thing is that the lack of optical zoom on this, and how much I used to rely on that. I'm not sure if this camera has digital zoom or not, but if I need to digital zoom, I prefer just to crop the footage in the editing later. So it's pretty bright sun and I'm wearing a white shirt, so I will see better how much it kind of has a problem with white. Now I will need to get one of my kids to follow them around to check how well it will be with handheld shots. Here's very little light, so I will be seeing later how grainy it looks like. Also, I tend to click something on the back of the camera and changing modes or things. That's kind of annoying. And already after just playing around this morning, there's 50% of the battery left. I was starting close to 100, maybe 80. So on bigger projects I will have to have extra batteries. So now I'm trying the other mode of the lens that kind of tells that I need to use different lens to add to, but for now it's just lower quality, but it doesn't bend the straight lines, as you can see, which is kind of annoying in the regular kind of mode on this camera. By the time I'm filming this one footage, like I don't think I spent more than 1 hour shooting, and the camera is hot, so it's heating up very fast. I'm not usually holding the main body of the other camera, but that's kind of worrying, I guess. But we'll see if it makes any problems. Bye, see you next week.